Let's now focus on Australia. Australia's crucial national elections voting has closed, and Australians have cast their vote to choose their next leader with 150 seats in the House of Representatives and 40 of the 76 Senate seats contested. And in fact, the incumbent Labour Party, the early projections are that the Labour Party has the edge, and it's led by Prime Minister Anthony Albanese, who's seeking a second term. They face the Liberal National Coalition led by Peter Dutton, who is facing a tough time. But for more, let's now go across to our guests. We're joined by Michael Feller, former diplomat and political analyst, joining us from Melbourne. Thank you so much. Tell us more about what the initial projections are.
Yeah, thank you for having me again. So it looks like a surprise. I could almost call it a landslide for the incumbent Labor Party here, which we weren't expecting. We were expecting, if anything, a hung parliament. I don't think many people were expecting the opposition to win exactly, but they thought that the government would return with a minority. But in fact, it's gone the other way. The government looks like it's increased its seats in the parliament, and certainly what it campaigned on, a very disciplined campaign focused on cost of living, house prices, healthcare, those sorts of issues, has certainly won the day. And I dare say also the fact that Albanese was seen to be both strong on China and strong on the United States worked to his advantage as well.
All right. So, are you saying that they have got the majority in the House, and once again, like we saw in Canada, is it these international tensions, the Trump effect that we're seeing in the Australian elections as well, given the strong statements being made by Albanese?
Yeah, look, it's the counting is still in its early stages, so we can't guarantee a majority, but it certainly looks that way based on the exit polls and the early counting. And I believe the opposition has more or less conceded. But yes, you make a very good comparison to the Canadian election. And I haven't had a look at what's happened in Singapore today, but I expect that their incumbents party has won again. So, last year, 2024, was the year of the swing against incumbents. And now 2025 looks like the swing against any party is seen to be remotely similar to Donald Trump.
That's right. Though Singapore, I don't think we can take that really as an example because, they've been there for decades now. So there would be news if, the opposition did slightly better than before. But yes, all predictions did seem it would be a hung house, and it'll be a little bit of a coalition coming together, and they'll be jostling to form that post the election results. But just interesting to see this impact that the Trump seems to be having in country. I mean, it's Canada and now Australia. What were the big issues in this election? And if you could tell us a bit about that.
Yeah, certainly. So the big issues were cost of living. Labor campaigned on house prices specifically, which is affecting the young. And young people, millennials and Generation Z, are now, for the first time, the largest cohort in the Australian electorate, rather than baby boomers and Gen X. So Labor focused on that. The opposition also focused on cost of living, but with a slight difference in that they were more focused on electricity prices, petrol. But younger people, one, they don't necessarily drive. And two, if they're renting, they probably don't care as much about energy prices as they do on the cost of rent. So, yes, both parties campaigned on cost of living, but one party's campaign was a bit more, you could say, nuanced.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Michael Feller, for joining us. And that is the big news coming out from Australia. Surprise, really, with Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese winning that re-election. By how much of a majority, we're still waiting to see that.